Our topic for today is something you may have thought about, but maybe not sure where to turn. You know, you have those moments and you're like, oh, I have a thought, but I'm not sure where to go. How do I find this information? Well, our guest for today is Lauren Savino. Hello, Lauren. How are you?
Hi, Fran. How are you?
Great. And Lauren is the early childhood specialist, again, early childhood specialist at the Early Childhood Direction Center, also known as ECDC, which is part of Kaleida Health. And if you may recall hearing Lauren last June, and where we were talking about information, and what we will be covering today are summer activities, and maybe year-long activities, but with a focus on summer activities for children with special needs. A lot of times you have a lot of summer information that comes through the email, comes through your U.S. Postal Office, but it's not the right information for your child or your niece or nephew. Well, you know what? Lauren is a wealth of information, like an encyclopedia. Lauren and her team are the encyclopedia of Western New York for programs for children with special needs. How are you, Lauren? Good to see you.
I'm good. So great to see you.
Well, you know what, Lauren? First thing I want to start with for our listeners is if you could please talk a little bit about the Early Childhood Direction Center, which I know you had the dynamic Vicki Rubin, who recently retired. I know there's a new director, there's a new location,
Yes.
but the programs remain consistent.
Yes. Hello, everyone. As Fran noted, we're the Early Childhood Direction Center. We are a department of Women and Children's Hospital of Buffalo. And the Early Childhood Direction Center basically provides free information, referrals, technical assistance, and support to families, early childhood professionals, as well as community agencies that are concerned with children birth to 5 with suspected or a diagnosed delay, which could mean also a disability. We, the Early Childhood Direction Center, as I said earlier, we focus on children birth to 5 years of age, and we also provide assistance to early childhood programs to help improve options and opportunities for preschool children with disabilities or delays. And we also serve in early childhood settings. And if a program is concerned about a child's behavior or things of that nature, we can come in and kind of take a look and give environmental recommendations to the teachers. And we also have a great helpline that families can call in and ask any question related to their child's development, whether it's educational concern or a medical concern, and we can kind of direct them or refer them to the right place. So we always say no question is too small. I'm going to give that 1-800 number right now. I'll say it a bunch of times today.
Right, exactly.
It is 1-800-462-7653.
One more time, please.
1-800-462-7653. And we also provide ongoing community training programs for both parents and professionals in Erie County. And we also serve 6 other counties. But we're talking today mainly about Erie County. So if you had a question or a concern about, I'd like to learn more about this particular topic, you can call in. We can let you know what trainings we have available. And you can also request one. We could come out to a church, a local library, and we have certified specialists that kind of do the training. And parents often say that it's extremely helpful to give them some extra parenting tools to work with their child.
And something I'm going to ask you about,
Sure.
You mentioned the phone line. So if someone has a child that's 12 years old and they call that the 1-800 number, will you then refer them to the proper agency?
We will. We're very well connected in the area, and we have a lot of collaborative agencies that we work with, and the Parent Network of Western New York serves children 5 to 21 and even beyond, and their families. So if you had a question, we could provide you with connecting you to them and their trainings and resources that they have. Yes.
So in other words, you collaborate with other departments within Kaleida and other agencies.
Absolutely. We work with a lot of the departments in the hospital that are related to kids and special needs. And we also, as I said earlier, are connected with many agencies in the Buffalo area that help children with needs.
What are some of the workshops? And before we get into the programs specifically for the summer, if you could just talk about some of the workshops that are provided for families. I remember seeing flyers coming through over the email that talks not only about the parents, but also talking about the siblings, and that's what I found is unique, is that you look at the whole family, the whole family. So could you tell us, our listeners, a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, a lot of our trainings, we have over, I believe, 25 different parent trainings that can be requested. Some ranging from preparing for what's called a Committee on Special Education meeting with the school district. A lot of times parents are unfamiliar about what that might mean, what information could they bring to the meeting, just to know what's expected of them and knowing their rights. We do a training on that. We do lots of trainings on helping them with routines in the home, bedtime routines, using what's called picture schedules, especially for kids that are early childhood and that have limited language skills or a cognitive delay. They need some additional supports to be successful in school, and they also need them in the home. And sometimes a parent is really unsure, well, where are there places that I can access that resource without having to create it myself? So they can call us, and often myself or one of the other colleagues in the office can share that resource with them. We'll mail it to their home. We'll send them an email if they prefer that. And a lot of times we've gotten a lot of great feedback saying, you're just helping me become a better parent because we have a resource that, I didn't know was even out there. So,
or even helping the sibling become a better sibling.
Yes. A lot of times our kids that have delays or disabilities can often learn so much from their typical peers, and vice versa. Their siblings can learn from their brother or sister that may have a special need, how to help them and how to understand the needs that they have. And just, there's a lot of resources out there. And so a family doesn't have to feel
like they're alone.
They're alone. Absolutely.
Yes. And that's an awful feeling, to feel like you're alone when.
Absolutely.
So there's no need. In other words, what we're saying, there's no need to feel that you are the only one out here, in this, in Buffalo or Western New York with a child. Right. Or children. Right. It could be more than one child in the family.
We have a lot of great parent groups. Depending on, what the parents are looking for, or whether it's a specific disability that the child may have, and they want to go to a parent group that has a lot of information related just to that disability, and be with other families that kind of can understand. And a lot of them actually provide childcare free of charge. So we can, refer them to, in Erie County, we have a bunch of fantastic parent groups going on. So if they're looking for information on that, please call our 1-800 number again that I'm going to give to you right now.
Yes.
1-800-462-7653. Again, 1-800-462-7653.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How about summer? Summer is almost here. Almost.
So
Can you talk about the programs?
Absolutely. There's a few things that I like to note ahead of time. So it's interesting, if a parent has a typical child, they can research summer programs. There's a variety of them. But when you have a child that has more specific needs or a significant disability, it's sometimes more challenging. So
can I say, is it more than autism we're talking about?
Yes. Okay. Yes. There's what I will say is most children that have a special need, that they have a special program within, say, their school district or their preschool, children must show what's called substantial regression. So that would mean that over, say, Christmas break or a holiday break or a spring break, they would be losing skills. So if it showed that they were losing skills, often the school district would provide a special program at a local agency, or the school district would be summer school for the child that was targeted towards their special needs. But a lot of kids still have delays or even have a disability and don't qualify. So when that happens, a lot of parents get really stressed out. They say, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? My child who has a severe speech delay or maybe has some occupational therapy needs or some physical needs. The parents, yeah, even, attention deficit, parents are worried. I'm worried that they're going to lose skills over the summer. What can I do to help them? So the first thing that we always say is, and on our website, I wrote an article called Everyday Things Can Be Therapy. And a lot of parents can go right on the website, which is you go right to the Women and Children's Hospital website and search Early Childhood Direction Center. And there's a bunch of articles that we have tied to our website. And this one's called Everyday Things Can Be Therapy. And we actually wrote this because we were getting so many questions, so many calls every spring when summer was approaching. I'm concerned my child has speech language concerns. My child has motor concerns. So what we did was we took that area and listed a bunch of things. So like, for example, if your child has a speech delay, listening to them, having them listen to a story that you read and then asking them a couple questions about the story and seeing if they're recalling the information. And it goes into every area of development that you might have a concern with and specific activities that the parent or the caregiver could do. Mm-hmm. So if the child was, say, in a daycare program or grandma was watching the child while your mom or dad is at work, they can give them this information. It's not difficult things to do. You do not have to be a certified teacher to do many of these activities. So a lot of our parents have said that it's been a really helpful document for them. And if anyone called and said, I don't have a printer, I'm happy to send that to you in the mail. So again, call us at that 1-800 number, which is 1-800-462-7653. In addition, there's a lot of options for learning outdoors, and we wrote a newsletter recently about, did you know your child was learning if they were doing this activity, and related skills and age ranges for those activities. So that's another resource on our website, in addition to summer safety tips, because a lot of children with special needs lack safety awareness, particularly if they have autism spectrum disorder. So being prepared as a parent, and how can I go about preparing myself or a caregiver for those things, like summer safety with being near water, taking them to different swimming lessons in the local area, which we also share on our website. So that is the first resource I wanted to mention. In addition, we partner pretty frequently with the Autism Clinic as well as our Special Needs Clinic at Women and Children's Hospital. And we put together a list called the Summer A-List, and it's called Summer Activities for Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder in Western New York. However, the list really is for children of all needs, even typical children. And what we did is we went through actually the whole local Western New York area and called all of these organizations, and
That's a lot.
and we have information listed on when there are sensory films at different movie theaters, awesome evenings at Explore and More Museum. We have information on therapeutic riding. We have information on Western New York summer camps and programs. This is all another list that you could call us for. We'll mail it to your home. Tons and tons of options. I mean, it's a 30-page document with lists
how
of
many, and is it there? Okay, but someone can also go to the
website.
and if you don't have a computer or it's not working right now, your internet is down, please go to the library.
Yes,
most libraries, several libraries most of the libraries have at least one evening hour a week in Buffalo, outside of Buffalo. And many of them have at least 2 evening hours a week.
And we will if you call us, we will mail the packet to you, which some, if you have a vision impairment, you have a difficulty reading on the computer, I completely understand.
Right. Or if you're not on a bus line. Or your car's and what's the number again?
1-800-462-7653. So I could sit and read through this. It's pretty extensive, but we have everything from artistic, like dance, music, things on sports, community activities. For example, some really great organizations in the area like Sky Zone, Leaps and Bounce, Roly Polies, they all have private special needs times, so the family can come almost at a lot of times it's a discounted rate for the entire family to be there. There's also additional staff there to kind of help allow your child to play in a safe environment, that there's less children, maybe less noise, and sometimes that's just what a child with special needs requires. So highly recommend taking a look at that A-list.
Is this in schools? Do the counselors have this information, or basically your office?
We have mailed a lot of this information to many of the local school districts. The Buffalo Public Schools, we share with them, as well as any district in Erie County. But sometimes they may not remember if they received it.
And it might be after the point. School is getting ready to close in a few weeks. And if they call that 1-800 number again?
That 1-800 number is 1-800-462-7653.
And in case you're just joining us, our guest for today is Lauren Savino. And Lauren is with the Kalita Health Early Childhood Direction Center. And one of the areas that we're focusing on today are summer programs, summer activities for not only children with special needs, but children and their families for the caregivers of that child. So you can also join the child.
Absolutely.
What is there such a thing as the most frequent type of request? Is there a request that you hear for summertime for children with special needs?
A lot of times, our families that call in, we're possibly referred by someone else, whether it's their pediatrician, a friend, to us because they have questions about their child's development. And they're curious whether the child would qualify for service. If they're concerned about it, what should we do? And so we are a free service, and you can call us and we will direct you to, depending on your child's age. So if the child was birthed to 3 years of age and there was a delay, we could refer you to early intervention. We can make that referral for you. A lot of families are nervous to do that. We take some information from you and we'll go ahead for free and make that phone call, set it all up for you. And the therapist would then come out to the home, evaluate the child for free. It's part of Erie County program. New York State Department of Health provides that. And if the child qualified for services, they would again get services right where their natural environment. So if it's in the home with grandma, mom, whoever, or if they're in a child care program, the services would be provided in the child care program. If the child is 3 years of age, at like preschool age, they would be evaluated by the school district, and then the school district would provide the services wherever the child was attending preschool. So if they lived in, say, the Buffalo City, it would be Buffalo Public Schools providing those services in their preschool program. And then after that, it continues to be the school district. So, but we are that middle person to kind of help the family, help them to understand what their rights are, understand what services are out there, and let them know that it's all free, and we can assist them with anything they're nervous about.
It's all free. I wanted to make sure that didn't get lost.
Yeah.
But are there any programs, and we I know we don't have time to list programs. Are there programs that would have that have services for children without special needs as well as children with needs?
Sure.
So you wouldn't have to split up the family at 2 summer programs.
It depends on the child's needs, and often it's what's called a committee decision. So if a child is identified as having special needs, like I said, the county, if they're under age of 3, if it's 3 years and above, that would be the school district, the parents, they would have a committee meeting, and that would be, everyone would share the strengths and weaknesses and the concerns, and then they would kind of create what would be a plan. And sometimes a child may need a more restrictive setting, like an agency placement that is, maybe a smaller classroom. But if they're going to a school district, they often try, depending on the child's needs, to put them in the same school that their siblings are at. But sometimes it's difficult. It depends.
And school would be parallel to summer programs. So you would say...
Exactly.
You would say the same for both.
For sure.
We have a few minutes left. I don't know if you'd like to share your personal reason why you got involved, or a story about any story of families that have come in that have really left an impact on your heart.
Oh, so many, so many. I don't even know if I could pick just one, but I was a special education teacher for 10 years. And then I had my first child, and she was diagnosed with autism. She started to what was called regress and lose some skills, and I had some concerns being a special ed teacher. Thought she may have autism, and she ended up getting diagnosed at about 18 months. And because of my background, I was able to get her the help that she needed right away. And I started feeling, as I was working with her and spending this time, like, what about all those families that didn't know the information that I knew?
Correct.
What about those moms, those dads out there that were just so stressed, thinking, there's just something not right with my child, and I don't know where to turn, and they're scared. It's a change in your life that you don't expect. So I wanted to really help. When I knew of this job opportunity, I started working with the Early Childhood Direction Center, and it's been a blessing, because not only can I help families almost every day on the phone directly and take a lot of stress out of their day, knowing that, hey, we're going to help you through this process. We're going to walk you through it. We're going to give you the tools. And they call us back 6 months later feeling so much more confident, so much more empowered, that they have those tools, those resources, and they know that we're very lucky in the Buffalo area. There's a tremendous amount of resources here.
And I just want to say something else that you said.
Sure.
You work with, and you call, and you have conversations. So it's not a
Yes.
robot.
Yes.
Am I a robot? No, it's
We're
a real
not a
phone
robot.
number. It's a real phone call.
And we follow up
And
a
we
lot.
follow up, which is so
Yes.
important nowadays.
And we also do, as I noted earlier, parent trainings. We have a Facebook page. We have a pretty extensive email listserv that we send out information on anything that's going on in the Western New York area related to families of children with special needs.
Thank you so much. I'm going to have you give me that phone number one more time.
1-800-462-7653.
Thank you so much, Lauren, for
Thank
being
you
our
for
guest today
having
on the
me.
Great Lakes Health. Well, I just want to say, look for us this coming Saturday, June 17th, at Juneteenth under the Great Lakes Health, ECMC, and Kaleida Health, where we will have information on stroke, on health insurance. We will have a plethora of information. And God be willing, I will see you in 2 weeks. I'm your host, Francesca Messiah, from Kaleida Health, where we see people and not just patients. Bye-bye.